It's a tough question for social media companies. What do you censor in the name of taste or obscenity or violence? And I mention that because, of course, whenever there's a terrorist attack or, let's say, a mass shooter incident, on the one hand, everyone wants to know the news and they don't want to be told you can't handle the truth. On the other hand, uh, what is just titillating violence for its own sake? What is something that should not be shown for reasons of age or taste, or perhaps even turning a mass killer into a celebrity? But I'll tell you where I come down on the subject. I'm an adult, and most social media apps have a minimum age cutoff. You can't be on it if you're under 14 or 16, I suppose. Of course, there's parental settings. And where I come down is if I want to see the news, I want to see the news. There is no one else I trust to see the news for me and to decide for me if I'm grown up enough to see it. And I say this because the other day there was a stabbing attack, motivated, it turns out, by radical Islam, a stabbing attack on a Christian priest in Australia. And of course, his religious ceremony was being live streamed. And this is the shocking moment. I'm going to warn you that this is a troubling sight to see, but that's what we're talking about here. Take a look at this. Well, that man was quickly overpowered and taken into custody. Our contributor, Ian Miles Cheong, who is very active on Twitter, was one of the people who tweeted that video out early. And he tweeted it not to be salacious, but because it was a central piece of evidence in a story, like a prosecutor would put Exhibit A to a jury. Here's what's going on. And that was fine under Twitter's rules, but it wasn't fine for Australia's new eSafety commissioner. Yes, there is such a thing. Joining us now is our friend Ian Miles Cheong to tell us what this eSafety commissioner did when Ian shared the news. Ian, great to see you again. Thanks for taking the time.
Likewise. Thank you. So the eSafety commissioner, her job, she's Julia Inman Grant. She used to work for Twitter, so she has a bit of an axe to grind with Elon Musk. She doesn't like Twitter very much, or X these days. And she is claiming that X is a hotbed of extremist propaganda, disinformation, so on and so forth. Like, we see this narrative being told day after day from every single person just like her, right? You had the Disinformation Governance Board in America. That's been shut down. But unfortunately, Australia has her. And she wants me and perhaps a few other people to take down the video of the stabbing, as well as the previous stabbing in Sydney that claimed the lives of 6 people. Now, there's nothing in the previous video that even shows any stabbings. It simply shows, police attending to the victims, and she wants us to take it down. Why? Because it goes against the narrative that Sydney's a peaceful place.
Right. I forgot about that other stabbing as well. Sydney and Australia has had a lot of terrorizing moments. Now, I want to check with you because I follow you on Twitter closely, of course, but the particular tweets that this eSafety commissioner was complaining about, you just showed the original images. You didn't lie about them. I don't even think you had a lot of commentary. You were just describing them like a photo caption might describe a photo. Was there anything in particular that seemed to stick in the craw of this eSafety commissioner other than, like you say, it went against the narrative? He was someone who apparently, it sounds like he shouted Allah Akbar when he stabbed this priest, and then that other stabbing incident in the mall. I think you just described them. Was there something in particular that bothered this lady?
I don't know, because when I posted those videos, like for instance with the stabbing the church, I didn't even catch what he said. I have no idea what he said. And while some people may suggest that he said Allah Akbar, I don't know for sure.
Right.
I wasn't there, obviously.
Right.
And I simply posted it as is because that's what I saw on the live stream. That's what many people saw on the live stream. Millions of people tune in. It is Mari Emmanuel, and he's extremely popular. So her trying to take down these videos, it's a bit like putting the toothpaste back in the tube. It's not going to work. Right.
I guess this eSafety commissioner, because she came from Twitter before the Elon Musk free speech era, she's used to being your babysitter, your minder, your governess. And if I was a child, I suppose I would have to yield to the judgment of a babysitter. But I'm a man and I'm interested in the news and I can choose. And maybe there's a setting on Twitter. There is, in fact. You can have it use AI to screen out adult images or not. Google calls it safe search, etc. All the apps have it. It irks me that she wants to be my nanny. I got a question for you. Would you have heard about this complaint had Twitter not disclosed it to you? Like you didn't receive any inquiry directly from this net nanny, did you?
None whatsoever. This woke commissar simply lodged a complaint with Twitter, X, and claimed that I was violating the laws of Australia. No details were given. X is, they're extremely transparent and they didn't provide me any details of this. So she simply took, action and tried to take these videos down. Now, keep in mind, I'm not a citizen of Australia. She has no jurisdiction over me, nor does she have any jurisdiction over X for that matter. And yet she somehow sees fit to try to remove a bit of news that is not to her liking. And now keep in mind, the video, when it was posted, it was like, I personally flagged it as sensitive. So you do have to toggle the safety thing to turn it off and actually see it. So
you yourself took steps to telegraph to viewers, this is sensitive. So you actually did give a sort of viewer's guidance, viewer discretion advice. I didn't know you did that. Well, that shows that you were being very thoughtful about it. You mentioned a moment ago that this censor does not have jurisdiction over you. I think that's true. But you said she doesn't have jurisdiction over Twitter or X. I don't know if that's true because, of course,
maybe that's not true.
Every jurisdiction Twitter operates, X operates. I keep saying Twitter because it'll take me another 5 years to get the new terminology. They have to abide by the laws in which they're active. We've recently seen how Brazil has tried to twist their arm to get them to censor political enemies of the regime or something. It's quite shocking. Theoretically, if this censor had legal authority, she could put some sort of ban on Twitter, a fine on Twitter, even do what Brazil looks like it might do, which is ban Twitter. But that raises another question. What exactly are her powers? What exactly is the law? And frankly, how dare she have a sneak attack on you without even reaching out to you? Those are questions I think that we should probably try and find answers to in the days ahead. Like, is she just a complainer? Does she have a bite as well as a bark? I don't know. But
I don't know. I think she has the ability to make suggestions to the government to take action, but I don't think she has any direct powers.
It would be interesting to see who. I wonder one of the things that gets me about this, Ian, is it was a sneak attack on you, if you know what I mean. You didn't hear about it from her. You didn't get a copy of it from her. You heard about it because Twitter disclosed it to you. How many other complaints has she filed? Are they always disclosed? Who does she choose to go after? Is she partisan and biased? I bet she is. I bet she leans one way, as most of these censors do.